So Super Mario Party Jamboree just got a big update. This game is out on October 17th, 2024, and Nintendo is starting to do more and more promotional material surrounding this game, and there's actually a ton of new data to dive into that you probably have not seen surrounding this game yet, because they just created a brand new Japanese promotional website that shows literally uncut minutes of gameplay, just as if you're watching somebody play this game live. It definitely gives us a little bit more context in terms of what to expect with this game, and we already know we're going to be getting a lot of upgrades from prior Mario Party games, such as a broad character roster, potentially 20 plus characters that we've seen just so far, 7 boards at launch out of the gate, 2 of those boards being remastered, and over 110 different mini games. And my big concern with the mini games on this one will be based around just how much motion control will be required compared to that of a traditional button experience, because the big difference for me personally with my enjoyment of Super Mario Party versus Mario Party Superstars, well, Superstars was a clear winner for me because I enjoy the more traditional button style gameplay. I don't mind some motion, but when it's all entirely Joy-Con based, it's a little bit of a turnoff for me. So maybe we can uncover just how much that particular aspect of the gameplay you can expect within this brand new Mario Party release. But we'll get on the same page with all of that. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And with that, we'll hop right over to the Nintendo of Japan Super Mario Party Jamboree website. So we actually have a lot of information to dive into for Super Mario Party Jamboree, and some new snippets of gameplay and screenshots that you likely haven't seen before. Now, the machine translation will translate some of this website into English, but the rest of it will remain in Japanese, so I am not going to do that for the sake of this video. But I do want to first spend just a minute on the screenshots that you see passing by the screen, because this Bowser stage looks kind of crazy when he's giant and other people are trying to survive. You do get a nice glimpse of various different mini games, the bullet bill thing going on here, a banana boat type of setup with Mario, Peach, Goomba, and Bowser on different teams, presumably some lava themed stuff. We have what looks to be DK bongos coming back, so from Jungle Beat era of Donkey Kong. Like, lots of fun, different, exciting screenshots that you can get a little peek at various different mini games that we have not seen displayed to us officially so far. Well, I guess this is the official display, but you haven't seen it in a trailer, at least a lot of them, and it does look like, you know, we will continue to learn more about this game as time marches forward. And this is a kind of a nice look of how the, I guess, overworld, if you can say, is spread out compared to which kind of mode of the game do you want to go into, is what I'm assuming. It probably lets you select that from this type of connected area. And then as you continue to go on down, you can see a number of different stages shown off. Keep in mind, we have 7 board games out of the gate, and there's no telling if they will maybe release DLC for this game. DLC was something I was very much expecting for Mario Party Superstars. We never got it, so here's hoping maybe we even get more than 7 boards in the future, but we do have all of the various ones that we've learned about so far outlined, but from some different camera angles than we've seen so far. Continuing on down, you can see yet another section of the website here, and I do think that a lot of these little mini videos, some of this is new information and new snippets we have not seen yet of gameplay. There is actually one that is about a minute and a half uncut that I do want to focus on after this, but this one here, you know, kind of showing like a little repeat 30-second or less type of clip. And there's multiple sections of this website, so we're not even anywhere close to done. You can see kind of right on here, just selecting from various different mini games. And obviously we should expect things like a mini game mode to be intact, where your entire point is just to score the most points by winning the most mini games, coming in first the most amount of times. Like, I'm assuming we're going to have all the same game modes of the most recent Mario Party and Super Mario Party games. So that's probably what we're seeing there, with kind of like that mini game selection screen. You can just hop through and try to set up your own rules for how many mini games, or the first one to win, that kind of thing. And then we do have some additional screenshots to kind of notice here. And I do want to kind of take a moment to point out that while a lot of these games do indeed look like there is some motion-based controls, no doubt. I mean, you cannot play this game without a either Joy-Con or Pro controller that has that gyroscope sensor within the controller. That is very much going to be a required feature of this, but it does seem like, in my personal opinion, the whole mini game section is not necessarily based entirely around motion, which is a very reassuring thing for me, because as mentioned in the beginning of the video, that was a big turnoff for me in Super Mario Party. did not get into that game near as much as I did Mario Party Superstars. But we will obviously have to wait and see for Nintendo's next trailer around a more deep dive overview in terms of what to expect in that breakdown. We do get a good look at this mini game right here coming up. It looks like there's something with keys and selections going on, like a mystery type mini game, and then even like a snowball fight with some different teams that I'm sure that this is on a team and they're on a team together, like a 3v3 type of mini game. And we actually have to talk about just how many players you can do an online mode, because up to 20 different players now with that Koopa race mode, whatever it's called. It's slipping my mind at the moment. But all of this, all the different characters you can see on screen here, all playable, and there's probably more characters than what we've seen so far. But look at the roster, and then also this is only section 1 of the website, so they actually have a few more sections to dive into. This next part is actually going to be a pretty lengthy uncut look at a particular board stage section and getting to a mini game, and they kind of have a few different things that we can watch here. But what I did notice earlier as I scroll down, we will come back to that, we have this kind of new section right here, or actually good look at the gameplay. And from a visual perspective, I will say that, I mean, it's in line with what you would expect from any Mario Party game, but I do notice just kind of how immersive the camera is as you are following along the characters, and it looks like it's a little bit of an upgrade and some smoother transitions to the kind of menu systems that pop up. And it will get just a little bit more interesting once you see kind of the battle mini game pop up. And then we do get to see just a clear look at gameplay that we have not seen so far, to my knowledge, out there on the web, as far as this particular setup. And this is very much, again, not something that I can tell would be based around motion, but rather it looks like you're just trying to avoid the spikies as you are going through and jumping. And we see kind of their first, second, third place rank, and how you get all of the different coins that drop down to you, and then the pillars shift up essentially after you've won your mini game, or if you actually walk away with the most coins, that you can be shown that by who's highest up on the pedestal. So we see Mario purchasing a star here, and then it just about loops around, but really nice animations, really nice new glimpse of what's to come. And then I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, other than maybe like a graph in how far along you are within the game, and kind of that warning that Mario's maybe about to win things. Maybe that was the end of the game and we actually saw him secure the win there, but this is where it loops back to the original part of what we saw towards the beginning. Different menu things. I would love if this website would easily translate from Japanese to English. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know in the comments down below, please. But we can't see all of the breakdown of what's being described here, but we do get a look at various different things. We will first, take a look at the Koopa shop here, where you do have the numerous items. You have what looks to be some kind of like, of course, a warp pipe, and I'm not sure what that green hovering or glowing block is right next to it. You have like the slow dice block, and the one that you can literally just pick any number 1 through 10, as well as multiple dice blocks. Like I don't know if we will see a plethora of different items introduced here, but there was a way that Mario just got 2 stars there. So there's going to be some different, or Toad rather got 2 stars. So there's going to be some different things that are incorporated in this Super Mario Party game compared to, what we've seen in the past on the Switch or any generation prior to it. So I do want to pay attention real quick to what dice block he purchases here, because it looks like it's just a mushroom. So that's probably not related to what we saw in terms of the double star that they were able to purchase. So we did see a warp pipe, which of course will warp you to the nearest star. And okay, now I do understand what went on. At the top right, there was a menu option to actually buy 2 stars instead of 1. So getting to that star space, you can spend 40 coins instead of 20 and legitimately buy 2 stars at once. So cool little tidbits of information like that I do not believe Nintendo has gone over themselves. Another snippet of gameplay here that we get to look at, where Bowser is purchasing some kind of shop items. We have a 200x something that looks like a coin, and then maybe that was a spring type of thing, where maybe you could spring on to where somebody else is within the board. That remains to be seen. I don't have an entire perfect idea of what each item is, except for the very similar ones to what we've seen in previous Mario Party games. But really, there is a lot of footage to actually go through, so you probably do want to go through and take a closer look at this website, because I do believe that this probably is going to be the best look that we get for quite a while, until we get closer to, I would say mid-September, maybe into the end of September, and of course October. With this game launching on the 17th, we're going to see Nintendo continue to drip feed out various different new items, abilities, and kind of like a more deep dive overview trailer. And I still can't determine what this item is, and I'm wondering what it is. It almost looks like the green setup of a shop, not a spring, now that I'm looking at it up close. So I'm sure there's like a perfectly good explanation of it, and anybody who speaks Japanese could easily do that. But it is cool to see the different new items that we have here, and just kind of the breakdown of all the different things that you can see as part of this website. And as promised, I'll briefly like kind of go through and make sure that this isn't kind of any new information we haven't seen. This looks like a more individualized look at each stage. So it looks like this Bowser's Castle one. Bowser's literally the giant bad guy in the background the whole time, and you're able to shift the board in one direction or another depending on if you get to that particular lever around Bowser. So I love these, the wind-up guys from Super Mario World, like a lot of nostalgia, a lot of throwback, and just look at the visuals. I mean, it really, Mario Party has always, in terms of the Nintendo Switch, quality of visuals has always looked in the top tier of that, in my opinion, and this game is no exception. I think Mario Party character models honestly just look top notch, and you really can't beat it, because there's not a whole lot going on to where Nintendo has to render in a giant open world, and they can do a little bit more attention to detail on the look of the characters. And that's kind of cool, just that little transition we saw there with this particular stage, that you're ultimately working your way up a circular castle and cloud layout. So you can kind of go through this on your own time. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to deep dive into every single board and what every single stage looks like, but we're 7 boards out of the gate. They all look beautiful. They look a lot more elaborate than the prior Mario Party games, in my opinion. So when they pick a theme, it seems like they really dive into it, and they base the entire stage around it in a big way. So definitely excited to kind of see what more unique style of ideas they've come up with as we talk about probably, well, for sure, actually the last Mario Party game in the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, and they're pretty consistent at an every 3-year release, so we probably should expect the next one out about 3 years after this one drops. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of all the new promotional material and what we can see as far as gameplay so far with this Japanese Super Mario Party website. Are you planning on spending any time yourself and kind of going through this in more detail? Are you already sold on this game and you're planning on picking it up day one? Or is it something that you might wait a little while to maybe pick up on a sale? How do you feel about the motion controls maybe being a little bit more focused on, with this one in particular being a Super Mario Party title, similar to that first one we saw released on the Switch, as opposed to Mario Party Superstars, and it requiring the motion-based controllers? Are you excited for that, or less excited and a little bit worried like I am for it? I think if the balance is right, it'll be just fine, but obviously different gamers prefer different control styles. So let me know your favorite Mario Party memories and experiences, and what you hope we see from this game when it ultimately releases later on in October this year. So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.